All right, today I want to look at AI and the AI technology, where it is right now, and I guess to what degree it we are on the brink of it fundamentally transforming probably everything. But I saw something today, um, and it was this AI technology. You just type some words into it, and it produces an image. And the images that I saw it produce, every single one of them looked like it was done by a real incredible artist. And this thing cranked it out in like 30 seconds and multiple versions. It would like crank out four different images, and each of them would take a real artist like a month to do or something. I mean, just many, many hours. And they were so good. And this thing that I saw today could replace artists, or at least put it into every single person's hands, you know, like search engines kind of maybe could replace a big stack of books, right? This is kind of the same. Anyway, mind blowing stuff. And I just want to look at AI where it is right now because I saw a consumer level thing today that could replace artists entirely, at least like concept artists or whatever. And really, anyway, let's take a peek at it. Where are we at and what is coming? So, our root card is reverse Five of Pentacles. That's interesting. And then we get a 7 as the main card. So, well, it is also interesting that as I do that, the devil is the thing that's sort of peeking out at the bottom. This should not really be a part of this reading because this was the bottom card, but I just wanted to note it because it was just sticking out there um, so clearly. Anyway, Five of Pentacles. So this is like it's funny because the AI could replace probably a whole shitload of jobs and maybe all jobs. And this AI can definitely replace drivers, and people freak out about that, but it is true. It can probably replace pretty much everything. Maybe it can replace doctors. In fact, I'm sure that it could. If you got the little robotic arm like in the science fiction movies that comes out and does the surgeries or whatever. Anyway, this is like it could be not having a job, not having money, not having a place that you would belong, right? This thing reversed is like finding the place that you belong after being exiled for a long period of time. Now, this would basically show that currently what is happening, maybe this is going to push us actually toward a sense of belonging outside of the world of income and money, maybe. So when we look, the main card that comes out is the Seven of Pentacles. So this is the witch practicing witchcraft, but this is about learning by doing. I think that right now, in the whole scope of AI, there's stuff right now that can fundamentally replace a whole bunch of occupations. But this is learning by doing, and it would show that, it's definitely going to get more and more powerful. Obviously, that is true. Let's just see what we got on either side of this. Huh, that's interesting. So, what leads up to this? Heartbreak and betrayal over here. And as it moves forward, it moves toward the Five of Cups, and that's the old married couple. This is emotional stagnation, right? And maybe this is like a human thing as the AI replaces so many things that we feel like it is our job to do in this world. At first, the people would feel very betrayed. And all truck drivers, eventually AI will replace truck drivers. It's just a fact, and cab drivers, fucking drivers in general. The cars will eventually be driving themselves and communicating with each other. And uh, originally, there is this. Then, as it moves forward, it looks like for people, maybe that we just end up emotionally working on shit, that I think this would really talk about a point where maybe we wouldn't have jobs, but maybe it wouldn't matter. And as that moves forward, then we just end up dealing with emotional things that we hadn't dealt with before. I want to look a little more at the Seven of Pentacles, and we get the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. So along the center, we get the 5, the 7, and the 8. I'm going to pull out the 6 because that's the one that's missing. Um, just so we have it to look at here. But the 8 of Pentacles is about spending all day doing your job. This is the creator. This is the craftsman, right? And they're just spending all day cranking this thing out. Now, in the 7, this is when the person learns to create a thing. They learn by doing. This is the master that's spending all day cranking it out. Now, all of these things talk about, I think, people's sense of what they do in life, and it's interesting. Star Trek has shown all of this, right? Once computers do everything, what do people do? And why do they do anything? And in the Star Trek world, after they have replicators, people do things just out of exploration and curiosity and like trying to better themselves or whatever. But none of them really have to do anything. There aren't really any jobs that have to be done in the Star Trek world. I think that this is heading that way, where there might not be that many actual jobs that need to be done. Let's look at the one in the Pentacles thing that's missing here, and it's the 6. So the 6 is when we give and give to the ghost. We give and we get nothing back. Now, if this isn't a good example of modern day fucking corporate capitalism, then I don't know what is, right? We give and and we don't get shit. And this is missing because it's not a part of this trajectory. Now, I think it's interesting that this is the witch practicing witchcraft, and maybe the mystical world and like magic is where people are going to end up putting their focus because machines currently, I don't think they can do that. I don't think you can make an AI do Reiki, you know? And currently, I don't think an AI could do a tarot reading worth a shit, I could be wrong. Um, but I think there's going to be a fundamental thing about what it is that we do. And with the 7, it would really talk about learning. It's going to open up people to be able to learn to do whatever they want. Um, and I really do think that the jobs are going to be mostly taken by these AI things fucking real quick. Like, real quick. But for people, we've got an immediate feeling of heartbreak and betrayal, and followed by just all the emotional garbage that we hadn't worked through yet. Now, what I want to do is pull a card to see if this is a part of our ascension, right? Maybe just having all of the free time is what leads us to ascension. Well, here's a Two of Pentacles. Now, this is being able to have a couple things going, kind of switching back and forth between two different things. This Two of Pentacles upside down is usually when you're trying to deal with two different things, but one of them is too heavy. Um, as an answer to the question, is this sort of AI how humans achieve ascension? This Two of Pentacles would say probably not. Um, I can see in my mind how that could be the case, though. If we had nothing to do but just sit around and think and experiment with magic, I think that would work. But, all right, I'm going to do a timeline. Oh, geez, I just had 3 cards fall on the floor. So, I want to look at a timeline of between now and this period of time. And this is when fucking AI has taken over everything. Now, the reverse sun. The reverse sun is saying, I don't think this is going to happen right now. Just because it's reversed. But this is about two energies being open and honest and like accepting of each other, right? And this is going to do this like throughout time. Sometimes these two energies are going to be very open to each other. And sometimes these two energies are not going to be very open to each other. But it's like a cycle, if we look at the numbers, we get a 19, and maybe that's talking about 19 years. Let's just look a little deeper into the card and see if there's anything that's really coming out in timeline. The only thing that's sticking out are these nipples, like the men nipples. I don't know, when men have glowy nipples, maybe. But the reverse sun, I would say this isn't imminent. It doesn't happen like today. And in fact, I would say this is probably like 19 years. Um, well, I guess time will tell. So it is worth thinking about, what would you do if you had no job, right? Because the AI is probably going to take all of our jobs. So that's what we get here. And this wave, that when I was talking to my friend today, the way he said it, it's like there's a massive wave, right? A massive wave coming. And we're like right here. And then this wave is just going to crash and like fucking change everything. So I think that wave takes a little longer in order to truly incorporate into our society. Um, like concept artists are probably going to be employed for another number of years. But this AI thing I saw today that ran through a fucking Discord chat, um, could replace concept artists. It just could. And like no one on, like a Hive post or a fucking YouTube post, if you want a cover image ever, no matter what it is that you want, you can just feed the description into this thing and it's going to give you something that looks like some amazing artist spent a month on it. It's really, really cool. Anyway, so people are still going to have their emotional stuff to deal with. But of course, and I don't think it happens right away. But it will also give us a chance to learn about pretty much whatever we want, because it's going to take our fucking jobs. So that's what we get. I would love to hear what anybody thinks about this. If you saw things in the cards that I did not see, feel free to leave it in the comments. And if you have a request for a topic you would like me to do, feel free to let me know that too. And peace.